Hi, my name's John. If you're here watching my videos, tap the subscribe button in the lower right hand corner. If you like my videos, hit the bell icon so you can get notifications for new videos. And at the end of the video, you can hit the icon in the center and also subscribe to my channel. Okay, there's the work I did last week. Got the one compression coupling right there, the one on the bottom. Phone just got fuzzy. I don't know what's going on with it. Anyway, there's the other one right there. And that is, oh, I see what it's doing. It's focusing on my hand and not the piece behind it. Anyway, those couplings, that one right there and that one right there, is what I put in. And then the little, I don't know, what is that, 8 inches, maybe a foot of pipe in between there. What I put in there, that's where it's leaking right up there where it threads into the steel pipe. So I put a new coupling on there. Then I put the dresser, I don't even know what that would be, a male pipe to compression coupling, and then a double compression coupling. But anyway, there's no leaks. The mud you see in the hole right now is from the rain we had last night, because it's, it's right up against the edge of the house, so the runoff, from the house, probably all the way from both ends, ran in there. But anyway, that's drying up, and here in a couple of days I'll be able to cover that up. Now I'm going to show you at the front of the house what I've got to do in the next 3 days. Okay, right there's some of the concrete I busted up. This is my porch. Of course, it's a mess up here now. That's the step I fixed last week or week before. This step broke. It had a knot right in the middle of it. And this porch is probably 20 years old. Of course, it's not in the greatest shape. It had never been treated or anything, other than what was put on it when it was brand new. And then right here is, well, that light just tears everything up. Right here is where the old porch was, and I'm busting all this concrete out. Instead of putting stringers under the deck, they just laid it on top of the old porch, and well, it caused a problem. That finally ended up busting out like I knew it was going to. And yesterday we had one of our newborn kittens, which is over there, let me see, in that cage right there, in that little kitty house, or whatever you want to call it, kitty condo. Anyway, he got up in here through the little maze and got stuck under all that concrete and couldn't find his way out. Therefore, he was trapped under there, and I didn't want the little kitty to die, so I ended up, ripping all this out and saving him. And in the process, decided, well, we gotta rebuild it now. So right now I'm in the process of tearing it out, and once I get this all tore out, I'll decide what I do then. I don't know if I'm just going to tear out enough where the cats don't get stuck under there, or get out of there, or just tear it out and redo the whole thing and make it like it's supposed to be. See, there's a stand down there, and then right there I've got a load lock holding that piece up, which, it's not right, but I've got enough 4x4s to redo all this. So that's probably what I'm going to do. We had one here, and when they put this porch in, they took it out. And then there's one right right here that they took out. So yeah, I'm gonna have to redo all that and then go from there. But those are just 8-foot 4x4s. So I'll just have to put them back in there. I just got to figure out what the distance between them is and then go from there. All right, but for right now, I've got to get all this stuff out of the way, get the porch cleaned off, make it where it's not such a minefield to get through here. All right, we'll see you in a minute. So far, this is what I have on this project. I've got all the deck tore off. I've got most of the concrete cleaned up off the top of it, off the old porch. That was the foundation to the old porch. It's actually on a concrete sheet, but I gotta go to work tomorrow and I don't have enough time to do this completely. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a temporary job to hold me off till next spring. And the main thing I was worried about was the kittens getting up in here and getting trapped again. But I took that top off and that lowered it about 4 inches. And there's nothing for them to get trapped under anymore. So what I did is I put this piece of board here that should have been there in the first place to attach the stringers for the deck, but that was one of the shortcuts that was taken. And you know, I'm not going to make any excuses for anybody, and I'm not going to blame anybody. You know, they did what they did. Nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to complain about it. It was done. It's over. It's being redone, and come spring it'll be done properly. I'm just going to build a whole new porch. But anyway, and like I said, I'm scabbing that stringer on right there and then hanging it on the wall right there. I'm going to scab a stringer on right there, attach it onto the wall right there. It leaves a pretty big gap right there, but you know, I don't think it's going to cause a problem. I don't need to go all the way to there. I mean, we've walked all over that porch with no problem. So, you know, for right now, it's going to be what it is. I'm just going to scab that one on right there, and then I'm going to screw my floorboards in, my deck boards in to the stringers that are there, and go from there. I had to chop the top off that 4x4 a little bit. I don't know if it's settled, the stringer's settled or what, but I'm gonna put 1/4 inch lag bolts, by 1/4 inch by 4 inches through those so they don't sag anymore. I will drill a pilot hole for them, so you know we don't have a problem in that area. But that's what I've got so far. I will clean out, you know, the top of that. I'll sweep it off best I can. I'm not gonna leave that trash there. As far as everything under it, you know, I don't give two craps about. As long as there's enough room for the cat to get in there and out of there, or the kittens to get in there and out of there, as long as they ain't so stupid they can't find their way out, we'll be all right. The one crawled up through a hole right there and got right up in here, and I guess he got through and then he couldn't find his way out. He couldn't turn around to get out, and while I was busting concrete out to get him out, I actually almost squished him to death. But I'm telling you right now, that ain't gonna happen again, because you know there's so much space here. So hopefully I'm gonna get this finished today. There ain't no hopefully to it. Even if I just lay the boards on top, it's better than it was. But no, they will be screwed down. That way they don't, sag excessively when somebody walks on it or something like that. But anyway, that's where I'm at right now. And I guess I'll show you the finished product. But so far so good. I mean, it's going together easy now. So that's the stringer that I've cut for this one. They were both like 42 inches long, 56 inches long. Cut them 56 inches long. That way, I'd have enough to go in there and have, room for all my boards. So anyway, that's that right there. So, it is what it is. I will be going from the outside in. That way, if I have one that has to be skinnier, there's no problem. I'll just cut it down and then go from there. But anyway, let me get off of here. And you've seen the mess. Now all I gotta do is cover it up. I'm just gonna cover the mess up. I've scooted everything out of the way. When I come back this spring, this will all be gone. I'm tearing it all out, and I'm gonna build one, the width of the awning and the concrete. There's actually a concrete pad under this, hopefully that's still intact. And I'm just gonna move all this out of the way and move that old deck out of the way, and I'll probably pour me a concrete slab over there, and then put my steps out on that. I'm not going to go as far out as this one is. I'm probably only going to go to where the original porch ended, and then go down on steps from there, kind of like them old steps right there, the old concrete steps. But as far as that goes, let's get back to work. All right. Okay, everybody, there's the finished product. It's got 2x8 lumber. It is pressure treated. It's all steady. No more wavy or squishy. Even where the stringers are placed pretty wide right here, it's got no give whatsoever. I was kind of surprised. But I only put from here back to the very end, which is the total thing's like 12 foot. So halfway, 6 foot from 6 foot on. I only put one screw in the stringer because it is temporary. Hopefully by next spring I'll be pulling this back up and rebuilding the whole thing. I'm not gonna do it this time like I wanted to. I'm gonna have to take a week's vacation where I got plenty of time to work on it. 5 days just didn't do it, or 4 days actually. Especially as hot as it was. It got to 108 today, and no wind. We're just now finally getting breezy. But there's all the trash that I pulled out. You can tell it's in pretty sad shape. I busted all the concrete out from under it from the old porch that was collapsing, which was causing all the problems. And one of the problems was whenever it got cold or rained, the wood would warp upwards and we couldn't open the door. And just scrape on the deal. It tweaked the door and scrape on the deck real bad. But now it opens just fine. There's probably 1 inch to 3/4 of an inch between the door and the deck, so everything's good. I may even just pull all that up and put new wood on it. I mean, other than that, the deck's in pretty good shape, and then just put a rail all the way around it. I may add another, like a 2x10 down there instead of a 2x8. Put a 2x10 in there, and then that way you know, have more support, you know, all the way around. But anyway, I don't have my rails on it. I don't know. Never had rails on it. It doesn't really need rails. So, you know, we're all fairly young here. And, you know, we know where the porch is. The only problem we have is this right here. I bump my head in it pretty regular. That right there, I bump my head on it pretty regular. That's the reason I wanted to put the narrow porch back in. That way, you know, there would be a pole here, and then, you know, it would be down on the concrete down there, and then our deck would go that way, all the way down to that pole right there. And, you know, we could have a chair out there or 2 chairs out there just to, that's all concrete all the way to that pole. So, but we could have a couple of chairs out there and a little coffee table, and you know, be able to have coffee out here in the morning. Put our rails right there. You know, I could actually still do that with this deck, and then put my poles down through the board right there, whichever board it goes to. It's kind of like this one right here where the cattail is, and put the board through that all the way to the floor or to the concrete, and then that will hold this roof in place. Because I mean, it doesn't flex a lot, but as you can see down there, it's got a little bit of a warp to it. So I've got to get something done. But yeah, I may just pull all that off and redo that whole deck, and then, you know, add on down that way, and then put a fence right here to make us walk around. Put a fence, or what do you call that? A rail down here to make us walk around this piece, so I'm not bumping my head on it. And then you can go to the outside of the fence. I almost fell because of a cat, the chicken down there. She's waiting on me to put out cat food. They're free-range chickens. We don't feed them anymore, because, you know, we got plenty of stuff out here for them to scratch and eat. There's plenty of seed for them. They don't starve. I mean, you can tell she's huge. But anyway, my battery's about to go dead, so I'm gonna let y'all go, and that's my deck. It took me 4 days to do this little bit, but I had to bust out concrete and all kinds of stuff. So I guess we'll see y'all next time. All right, bye.